What is one of the most important skills for career success? Finding a job and goal accomplishment that is barely, if at all, taught in schools? Well, the answer boils down to one word. Author David R. Olivencia. He joins us now to share details on his new book, Networking Excellence. David, thanks for joining us this morning.
Great to be with you, Eric.
So what is the crux behind this? What was the light bulb moment where you said, I have to write a book about networking?
So I really wanted to share, all right? So I wanted to share, which is really the spirit of networking and giving and sharing, how I climbed the corporate ladder to get to senior executive roles at Fortune 100, powered by networking, how I invested in some of the top startups in the United States, which was powered by networking, and how I co-founded several technology leadership organizations that were powered by networking. All of that was done through networking, and I wanted to share the experiences, the hundreds of books I read on the topic, 30 great people I interviewed around networking, and pack that into a book to give it to people. I also want to fulfill demand. You touched on a couple areas there. It's the most important skill for finding a job and career velocity. So also wanted to share that as well.
All right, we hear that all the time, right? It's not what you know, it's who you know. But how do you weigh that also with a particular skill set? Because you also want to be good at your job, but as you pointed out, you got to know the right people too.
Yes, you got to be deliberate, but it's also, and it's why I capitalize the word work. It requires work to be excellent at networking. So I say you have to work on a foundation that you help identify and understand what's important to you, what's your vision, mission, purpose in life, what are your goals, and then you use that to then identify, well, who are the right people and how do I work to give them tons of value, and then what are the right networks, and how do I work to stay connected to those networks and give the right value to those networks? So it's about giving and work. And once you do that, you'll find that you help them be successful, but they're also inclined to help you be successful as well. So a lot of work, Eric, goes into networking, and networking, especially networking excellence.
How has the digital age changed networking?
So it's giving everyone the opportunity to connect with a lot of people globally in an instant fashion, right? But the challenge is if you don't have the right foundation, you could connect with a bad message, you could connect in the wrong ways, and you can definitely connect without value to that network. So you want to have a strong foundation such that you use digital, email, social, to connect in the right ways, add tremendous value to your network to help them be successful, educate them, help them learn. And then in turn, you'll find that it's very rewarding for you, but you also find that you get something back as well.
You mentioned some of the cool stuff that you've been able to do professionally. You've also been invited to the White House on 3 separate occasions. Can you tell us about that and maybe some other good stories that we might be able to find in this book?
Sure. So, yeah, I've been invited to the White House across 3 different presidential administrations, and it's happened because of networks and asking sometimes and relationships that I had built and developed over many years. But then also leadership positions that I've taken in organizations that have given me the right to be invited to the White House across different administrations. You'll see back here, I opened the NASDAQ stock exchange. That was all done through corporate networks, asking, nonprofit networks, all coming together to do that. And then the last story, which is kind of call it the anti-networking story, and I have lots of stories in the book. It's called 911 networking. And Eric, I think we've all experienced this, where we haven't heard from somebody in years or decades, and they come and I just lost my job, I need help, give me your network. And we call that 911 networking, right? So we talk about that, and we talk about what are the tools, tips, techniques to avoid that. Keep your network warm and continuously add value to them, Eric.
So, I mean, you have somebody freshly coming out of college, they're getting into the workforce. We're going to start by telling them, figure out your network by first reading your book. But then after that, where is the next step that they need to go on getting their network perfected?
Yeah, so they need to build a strong foundation, understand themselves, what's their mission, vision, life, power that with goals. And then they should identify who are the right people and the right networks that can help them with their goals. And then it's not about them, it's about how do you pour tons of value into those people and into those networks to make them successful. And then amazing things happen once you do that, trust me.
David, that's a lot of really good advice. I wish somebody would have told me that right out of college, too. I appreciate you joining us this morning.
Great to be with you, Eric. Get out there and network.
There you go. You can find Networking Excellence, Building a Strong Value-Based Network in an Accelerated Digital World on Amazon.com or wherever you buy your books.